Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in Sarasota, Florida. I'm your friendly Corvette guy, Lyle, and thankfully I'm back to do another podcast for you. I've been missing the last couple of weeks because we've had people out and I've been too busy to even make a video. But I made the time today because something has happened in the Corvette world that we've all been looking forward to for a very, very long time. GM finally unveiled the 2023 Corvette Z06 in a really cool 30-minute video that they had professionally produced. I mean, it's movie level quality and gives you a really good overview of what that car is about. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the specifics on that car. I'm going to talk to you about what my opinion is on where that car is going to head and what that car means to the supercar market as a whole. But before we get there, please take the time to like and subscribe to our channel. The subscriptions really help me judge what's working, and it allows me to take more time out of my busy schedule to make videos the more subscribers I have. If you already have subscribed, I very much appreciate it, but I see that we've got videos with over 100,000 views and I only have 21,000 some subscribers. So if you're finding a value in anything you hear me say, please click the subscribe button because that's really going to help me out. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it. Starting in 2001, GM reintroduced the Z06 option. Now, if you're a Z06 person, you know that that actually started back in 1963. And in 1963, if you chose the Z06 option, you were getting a bunch of basically race car stuff on the car that would allow you to go road racing from the factory. And it was kind of a word of mouth thing. It wasn't something that was advertised. It wasn't something that dealers talked a lot about. You had to know somebody who knew something about production to get that. In 2001, they brought it back out with the C5 Z06. C5 Z06, widely regarded even today as one of the finest handling and driving track weapons made. It had enough horsepower to be fast, but not so much you couldn't use it. It was exceptionally well balanced, and it had everything it needed and nothing it didn't. Everybody loved it. Then in 2006, they came out with the C6 Z06 with 505 horses. Extremely competent car, built on what they had started with on the C5 Z06 and made just more of everything. Again, very competent car. C7 Z06, 650 supercharged horses. That car was a beast. It was more powerful than the C7R race car that it was loosely based on. They sold a boatload of them. They're incredibly fast. They handle extremely well. So the problem that they found was they had reached the limit of what they could do with putting power down in a front engine rear drive platform. And they knew with the C7 that that really was the very best they could do with that setup. So after 60 some years, they finally decided for the 8th generation car, obviously we've got to go mid-engine so that we can put more power to the ground, improve handling dynamics, and compete with the best in the world, the Audi R8s, the McLaren 570S, a bunch of other highline cars that Corvette usually gets, that's really a nice car, but it's not part of that crowd. Well, I got news. With the C8, it became part of that crowd. And now with the introduction last week of the 2023 Z06, oh yeah, they're not only in that crowd, I think this car is going to change the supercar market for cars between $100,000 and $200,000 permanently. I think it's going to have incredible ripple effects across the entire market. But before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about what this car is. So if you know anything about these cars, if you've watched anything, follow the news, you know that it's got a 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8 that was eerily similar to the Ferrari 458 5.5 liter engine. And that's not a mistake, guys. They cribbed a lot of the infrastructure from that engine to make what they felt would be the greatest naturally aspirated engine that GM has ever made. And they started with a benchmark that was really, really high. So the new LT5 motor, of which it is unlike anything GM has done before, 670 horses, red line of almost 8,700 RPMs, incredible sounds, incredible quick revs. The power that puts down at any rev limit, at any RPM range. Watch the video that they made with the girls in the car. Every time she stabs the gas, to get thrown back in the seat. That's the beauty of sticking with a naturally aspirated, non-turbocharged, non-supercharged engine. It is going to be such a driver's car. I would say that it is going to transform what people expect from an American supercar. Everybody's used to the Shelby GT500. Everybody's used to the C7 Z06 and the C7R and the C7 ZR1. This is going to be a different animal, guys. Just the dynamics of this car and what it's going to be able to accomplish at the price point it's going to be accomplishing at is unheard of. All those people who have 3, 4, 5-year-old Audi R8s, Acura NSXs, AMG products, McLarens, guys, when this car hits the market, I'm telling you, the value of your car is going to go down, because people are going to be able to go out and buy a brand new car with a full factory warranty that is faster, arguably better looking, and more advanced than what you've got. And it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. Obviously, the body is wider. A lot of carbon fiber all over the place. You have several different options as far as exterior stuff, just kind of like you did on the C7 Z06, where you can determine whether you have a bunch of carbon fiber wings and splitters and stuff, or you can go with the more subdued, tame exterior. But if you're going to be doing track work, guys, you want the Z07 package. Absolutely. That is what this car is born to have. It offers carbon fiber wheels. Now, that's something that was only on things like a Koenigsegg just 5 to 7 years ago, and here they are on an American production car. They were available on the Shelby GT500 as like a $20,000 option. I'm sure they're not going to be a cheap option on the Z06, but they are available. Personally, I wouldn't get them, because as light as they are, I think they're going to be fragile. And if you're going to be driving around town and you're going to be parallel parking down on the circle or whatever, man, I wouldn't want to be the guy that scuffed up some of those and had to replace them. So I probably won't go with them, but they're awesome. They're beautiful. They save unsprung weight, which really does liven up the handling of the car at the limit. I went on to GM's website, and their visualizer is active right now. That's where you can go in and basically pick your colors, your options, your body panels, your trim, all that stuff, and configure the car however you want. And they give you this really beautiful 360-degree view inside and outside of your car. So I took the time to build my car, well, how I would do it. And I'm sure that my editor is going to put up some of those pictures as I'm talking about the car, what I would choose to do with the car. It's a great tool. If you guys haven't played around with that yet, there's a link in the description below to get you to the visualizer. I'd love to see you guys take the time this weekend or during the next coming week. Go ahead and build your ideal Z06 and email the pictures to me at lyle@corvettepartscenter.com, and I can do a video with some of those ideas, giving you credit for what your work was and what your vision of the perfect Z06 was in the near future. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on the drivability and handling of this car, because really there's not a whole lot of information out about that yet. That'll be an upcoming video. What I want to talk about for my remaining time here is what this car is going to do long term in Corvette history. This car is going to be the last great naturally aspirated, non-turbocharged, non-supercharged, non-hybrid car I think that we're going to see come out of the Corvette mold. I think it is going to be the American 911 GT3 RS. They kind of talked about the Shelby GT350 Mustang as a once in a company's history moment of perfection with the Voodoo V8 that was also a flat plane crank that also revved to almost 9,000. It is widely regarded as the best iteration of the car that company will ever be able to make. I believe that this new Z06 is going to be that car for Chevrolet, for GM, and for the Corvette team. More importantly, I also believe that if you go and you order one of these cars, and you get it for close to MSRP, which you should still be able to if you know the right people and how to do it, I think this car is going to be worth more money a year after you buy it than the day you buy it. I don't think these cars are ever going to depreciate because they are what they are. They are so special. There's not going to be a newer, better version of this car. It's not going to happen, guys. So if you're thinking about going and paying the inflated rate for a C8 base Stingray right now, which here in Sarasota, I'm seeing them go for $98,000 to $120,000 with 300 miles on them. If you got the money to do that and you've got the patience, don't buy a base Stingray. Go put your name on the order list for a C8 Z06. I'm guessing that this car, they haven't announced pricing yet, but I think a nicely loaded Z06 is probably going to be in the 115 to 135 range, depending on what options you pick. Buy it. Buy it. Get on the waiting list, put your money down, do your configuration, figure out what options you want, and get your name on that list and do it. Because I don't think you're ever going to lose a penny on this car. I think it is going to be the most dynamic car that GM ever makes with a naturally aspirated engine. And I think just like the 03 to the 05 Ford GT, the BMW Z8, some of those other cars that were in the $100,000 to $120,000 range when they came out and now are worth double or triple that a decade later or a decade and a half later, I think this is going to be one of those cars. I'm pushing here to do our own car for C&S Corvettes. Don't know, I don't control the money here, so I don't know that I can get it done, but if I can, I'm going to take you on it every step of the way, from the day we place the order, to the engine build, to the factory walkthrough, to delivery, to all of that. If I can get that done, I'm going to take you all on the journey with me. No guarantees, but we'll see what we can do. If you have thoughts or questions about the new Z06, please comment below. I do read all the comments and I try to answer every one that I can. If I don't know an answer, I may just write back, don't know yet, but I'll let you know when I do. But I do read them. I'm very excited about this car, guys. I'm very excited about what this car could mean to American supercars and to the Corvette in general. I look forward to hearing your comments. I look forward to seeing the pictures of your visualizer work. And yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Corvette fan. It's going to be a really cool journey here on the next year and a half to 2 years. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.